All right, good morning, everyone. I have the absolute pleasure here of welcoming two partners here from Gen M Partners. We have Mark with us, the CTO, and we have Francesco, who is the CEO of Gen M Partners. Fellas, thank you for joining me here today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Zach.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. Anybody who's building utility and opportunity on the XRPL, I want to chat with them. And so I just encourage anybody else who's listening in who knows of a cool project, send them our way. We're going to dive into what these guys are cooking up here, and it sounds pretty interesting to me. The quick summary after reading through your white paper and everything sounds like you guys are basically private equity tokenized on the XRPL is what we're looking to accomplish here. You guys set out that white paper in October 2023 of this year. I just wanted to ask, basically, who are you guys? Your quick background, and when did this project kind of get all started and put together?
Yeah, so for myself, my name is Francesco. I'm a independent derivatives trader in the traditional markets for about 3-4 years now. My other two co-founders who I started Gen M Partners with are also independent investors in the crypto market. So we both started our investing in two different areas of the market. I in traditional markets and my two co-founders in the crypto markets. Mark, if you want to lead with you.
Sure. Yeah. So my name is Mark Sean. I am the founder and lead developer of Contraband Interactive, which is had the pleasure to work with on a couple different grant-funded projects on the XRPL, and that's what led me to these guys since we're part of this XRPL community. So got to know these guys, and it's been a pleasure working with them so far.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, and so then this thing really got started this year, and we have a launch date kind of set for Q1 of 2024. Update us on that, please.
Yes, so we announced that we're planning on launching at about Q1. We weren't sure on certain deadlines when it came to certain legal stuff in the background. So we are targeting still Q1, probably around February or March. So it's
Okay.
about, yeah.
Awesome. And so, you guys are kind of spread out across the world for the team, but you guys are going to base this out of Gibraltar. That's where the legal entity is going to be set up. Can you explain why you chose Gibraltar?
Yes, so Gibraltar has a pretty robust and one of the most robust security token framework that there is. Under the GFSC, the Gibraltar Financial Services Commission, there is a framework for non-security token issuance, which is what we'll be following for our tokenized products. Most of our funds will be based out of Gibraltar. And we've spoken to a few legal counsel in Gibraltar, and they've informed us that for exactly our fund structure as an on-chain private equity fund, it is the most ideal for what we're trying to do. So we're very confident we chose the right jurisdiction for that.
Right. But your guys' fund, it is going to be a registered security offering, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
But it's so for those who don't know, I had to look this up beforehand. Gibraltar, skinny little peninsula at the bottom of Spain, and they are another territory of the British Empire of the UK, our friends across the pond.
Correct.
And of course, UK just adopting new crypto legislation, really leaning in, pushing forward while we're stuck here in purgatory in the United States. So it's been quite the contrast. So obviously that's part of why you chose Gibraltar. And I think that sounds good to me, doing any country outside the United States, just because of our legal uncertainties here, which is so unfortunate to see. Because I believe that we did have the capital market gold standard here in the United States, obviously the biggest capital market, and it was, very good for quite some time here. When we get the digital asset class hitting the scene here, we've taken a turn for the worst, unfortunately. But most folks understand that. I want to focus on your guys' project. We're doing this in Gibraltar. We're launching it Q1 of this coming up year. That sounds great. Right away, are we offering this to U.S. investors?
No, for the time being, no. Even us that we're based out of, we're from Canada, but considering the regulatory agencies in Canada and in the US, it's not really possible right now with the way we're structured to offer to US and Canadian investors. That is our goal, of course, in the future, as regulations, get better. But for now, we have to look.
Hopefully, right?
Yeah,
Hopefully.
hopefully in the next, couple years, or we're targeting probably, the next administration is probably a better bet. So, but it is definitely in our view. It's definitely in our view.
And are we offering this to non-accredited investors? I don't know
Yes.
what the accreditation standards are outside of our country. I know they're kind of similar in many jurisdictions, but is that possible?
Yes. So in Gibraltar, they actually, because of the non-security token framework that they have, it actually offers a few exemption solutions for unaccredited investors, which is extremely attractive for us.
Yeah.
So that's why we're very excited about offering our products to non-accredited investors, as investment opportunities like this in private markets have been very much shut out for everyday retail.
Yeah. And I was reading who you guys are going to be targeting, and it says, retail and institutional investors, but it also says central banks. So why are you guys looking to target central banks? This is exciting.
Yes. So like I said, we are very much, especially with our first product, targeting the private markets, and a lot of these private market assets, there's uh, private markets are at any given point 3 times larger than the traditional banking sector. So there's a great pool of capital to access through the private markets that central banks have access to. And we think that on-chain products that central banks use will be a great way for them to eventually be moving value and moving capital around the world. So we're really excited about that.
Yeah. My mentor, he talks about, folks think of where you can get money from, and they don't really think of going to the biggest players in the game. I mean, he talks about some of his mentees going and getting money from the IMF and World Bank. I mean, they do distribute all this money, and most folks don't think of that. But I like that you're thinking big. I like that you're thinking small, providing access to non-accredited. I mean, this is where the real money's made, is in the private equity and actually owning the assets. And so let's talk about that. Why are you guys making the allocations that you decided here in your white paper? Are those still the allocations that you're looking at? And can you speak on those allocations that you plan on making for this initial fund, first deal?
Yes. So when it comes to the allocations, it's going to be about a 75-25 split between on and off chain. So 75 being off chain, 25 being on chain. So for our off-chain allocations, it's going to primarily be real estate holdings and private placements in blockchain infrastructure, renewable energy, AI, and quantum computing. So very much diversified in our investment strategy that we're trying to do. Those are the those are the four main targeted industries for private placements. And then also, like I said, for real estate, we have a plan going forward for that, exactly how those will be allocated. So that's for our off-chain. And for our on-chain portfolio, it's going to mostly be on-chain lending and on-chain allocations in XRP, BTC, and a few other projects that we feel very confident about.
Right. Okay, so I like the diversification there. Really covering a lot on chain, off chain. That's great. For the real estate, what segment of real estate are you targeting, and what areas?
Yeah, so when it comes to areas, we're primarily going to be looking in the Southeast and Midwest. When it comes to the type of strategies we're taking two strategies. We're doing securitized derivatives from regulated broker. We're going to be using Red Swan for this. And for our physical holdings, it'll be mostly comprised of federal housing units in the Southeast and Midwest. So that's what we're trying to do.
Of the United States.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
See, and we all need to take note of this, folks. You see how all these these outside foreign investors, they want to bring money here. We just need to give them the rules of the road. There's so much money that wants to come in here. I just had to make that point, right? There's
Exactly.
so much money that wants to come invest in these areas, and we should be blossoming this industry. The best entrepreneurs in the world. I mean, we should be getting you to move on down here, and being basically you're bringing your money, and I like to hear that. Okay, so U.S. Real estate there, and then you talked about, was that precious metals that's going to be uh, what's the allocation methodology for the precious metals?
Yeah, so for the precious metals, it'll be the remaining amount that wouldn't be allocated into the real estate holdings, and that would essentially be physical gold, silver, and other precious metals, just for for exposure for our LPs, and also for generally just capital preservation to have.
Can you speak on gold versus silver a little bit for me? It just, for everybody who watches my show, they know I love precious metals. And that's, I mean, you're talking about basically my portfolio that I'm building out right now too, which is I save cash because inflation's terrible and we're all getting killed by it. And I save silver because that's my store of value. Even though I do expect some good gains to be seen on silver. I don't
Sure.
have any gold yet, but I joke. I joke at the kids. I say I don't have M's in the bank account yet to allocate towards gold. For me, it's an allocation that I'm considering down the road. And then obviously I got XRP, some other cryptocurrencies. And what I'm looking at going to next is private equity and real estate. So it sounds like we're kind of aligned in that regard. Can you speak on, kind of what you're thinking for allocations, gold versus silver?
Yeah, primarily for the commodities portfolio, I am thinking more to do a large allocation towards gold, given that it is a more coveted commodity when it comes to the commodities. It is, in my opinion, in my team's personal opinion, one of the best wealth preserving assets. So we are looking more and a more in detailed thesis, but that's just the bare bones of it. And we do believe that our larger allocation will go into gold more than silver. However, we're looking to bring exposure to both for all our LPs.
Yeah. And are you guys going to look to get any exposure? Is this just in the metals, or are you trading derivatives of this, or what's the program there?
Yeah,
And
no, so
also any miners, any miners.
yeah, good question. So it'll actually just be physical gold that we ourselves will hold. And you could even see on our white paper, we have a section where other physical products like our commodities portfolio, we'll be tokenizing those and issuing those as an NFT to hold under our ownership. So we have a few third-party providers that are able to do this, that hold physical assets in another location. I'm sure you've heard of certain providers that do this. And they will issue NFTs that we could hold under our wallet, and all of our investors will be able to see it in real time at any point. So
Yeah.
full transparency, all that for our LPs, and so it'll all be viewed easily on chain.
And is this where you come in, Mark? Or you're the CTO of this company. Is that what you're tasked with? Is the tech back end infrastructure of this?
That's right. Yeah. And I've bring to the team experience working on a couple different projects on the XRP ledger. So just, breaking into the financial sector is kind of a new area of exploration for me as well. So I'm happy to provide my expertise to the team.
Yeah. So on that, do you need smart contracts on the XRPL to implement this, or what's your plan for this?
So as you may know, the XRPL doesn't have native smart contracts in the same way that Ethereum does. So we're investigating a hybrid sort of approach. So we are going to leverage smart contracts, but it's going to be on a different chain. And then we're going to use a bridge service to communicate.
Right. Have you thought about the Zahal ledger at all? Obviously, this has been an exciting moment in the XRP community. Smart contracts not being brought to mainnet, but we're getting this Zahal sidechain. Any
Mhm.
thoughts to utilize that?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely very promising. It was just, I believe, just launched within like the last month. So it's very new. We're going to consider it, but we're also going to weigh all of our options out with that.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
And so you're going to be tokenizing basically the different allocations. You have this initial fund, And on the white paper, it says that there's going to be 250,000 tokens and the price is going to be 1,500 per token. Okay. So this is going to be the initial offering. And then at a certain point, you said you're going to start making allocations. I forget what the exact amount is, but once you've raised, you're not going to wait till you sell out. Once you
No, it's
get to a
gonna be
certain threshold, we allocate.
exactly. It's going to be a 30% threshold. So once we reach 30% of capital raised, that's when we're going to already start making allocations, correct?
Okay. So we got Mark on the back end tech, and you are an experienced trader. So who is making the allocation decisions and doing the trading?
Yes. So when it comes to our PE fund, it'll be what we say is semi-autonomous. So it'll be partially our team making certain investment decisions that will be fully communicated with the LPs, and at another in another way of allocation that we're doing is going to be the implementation of our AI agents that will be under certain parameters executing certain strategies. And so we're really excited about that for streamlining many of the processes that most PE funds have. We're really excited about that.
See, and this is why I keep my strategy so simple, guys, is because I don't know how to deploy AI and put the bots on it, right? I don't play around like that. As I was exposing my technical difficulties, but with you guys before we even got on here, right? So I keep my strategy pretty simple, but that's exciting. And so you said you had 4 years trading derivatives, but before before this point, is that what you stated?
Yes, I primarily have traded option contracts on the indexes. That's primarily my field that I've done. I started a previous startup before that, but it's 4 years that I was um, being a derivatives trader in the options markets. And like I said, my two co-founders, they didn't start trading index derivatives. They were in the crypto markets. So that's their background. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I like this. Yeah, I was trying to, find out as much as I could about you guys. I know that you're just getting started. So I appreciate this is actually an exclusive first interview, right? You guys haven't done any other social media content, right?
Exactly. We've been working in the background for about a year, getting everything, strategizing and planning for everything. So we thought, of course, as we're approaching our launch soon, coming into 2024, we were really excited to get this call with you and essentially introduce ourselves to the world.
And what other funds are you guys considering? Because this is just going to be the first fund. It's 250,000 tokens, 1,500 bucks is the initial price. But then after that, you'll be able to trade this on the secondary market. And so folks will have a real tradable asset. I do like that. But what are the other funds that you are considering down the road as well?
So we have a few that we're already planning out for. One of the ones that we're most excited for and will most probably follow afterwards the launch of our PE fund will be our on-chain REIT product. So we're extremely excited for that, our on-chain real estate investment trust. We think that that will perform really well. We're also looking into coming out with a crypto index. So that's a product that a lot of people in our space, I think, will benefit a lot from. Instead of having to have that extra layer of risk trying to find certain projects or certain tokens that they think will outperform. We believe that index products will be a big part of the next bull cycle in our industry to really diversify exposure for investors and really give them a great, eventual return on just investing in our market. So we're extremely excited for that. And so, yeah, like I said, another product would be an enhanced income product that we're excited about. It would track multiple indexes, for example, S&P 500 and a few other indexes. We're extremely excited for that. And just a few other funds that we can't really speak about right now, but we're in the process of structuring and eventually filing for them. So we're really excited. And other products like carbon credits and a few other things.
Yeah, I just want to say, as on behalf of the XRP community, I really hope that what I like about what our developers are doing is before we come break the chain, we're making sure it works. And so, as much as I would love to see you be able to put everything on the XRPL, running it through there, I understand why you're taking this kind of multi-chain approach. And for every business, I think it's smart. And to your point, Francesco, I believe that, yeah, for most people, they shouldn't be stock pickers. They shouldn't be traders. They should, probably just make an allocation towards some sort of broad index. And traditionally, the indexes have done their deal. Um, what we have now is a reset underway. It's definitely shaken our markets. We see that the crypto markets have been so resilient, bouncing back over 170% since the lows of last year for Bitcoin. I was just covering Solana versus XRP this morning, and we were looking at 1,100% for Solana from $9 last year, December, all the way up to about $100 this morning. And so everyone's excited. The pump is back on. We're having a good time. But I want to get your analysis on where we're at in the markets right now and your outlook for 2024 before we let you go, Francesco.
Yeah, so we've seen a huge, what seems like a V-shaped recovery since the lows, approximately in November, October of last year. You know, I think that especially for the real world asset sector, I think we're very much poised for a big year in 2024. Considering that, especially for real world assets, that I'm really expecting them to perform counter-cyclically to the crypto markets as they are real world assets that are tokenized. It's not solely just crypto assets. So I think for that market sector, I'm definitely expecting it to react counter-cyclically. When it comes to Bitcoin and XRP, with the halving coming next year as well, and the anticipation of the ETFs. I think that the ETFs will be very much a good thing because it's going to give investment managers the okay to make these allocations to Bitcoin. From a personal standpoint, I'm looking for the ETFs to be more of a sell the news event.
Mm.
I always think that things that are way too overly hyped always under deliver. And even when you look at what these ETFs really mean and what they really do, of course, in the long run, it'll be beneficial for the more traditional players to make their way into the market. However, it's not going to happen overnight.
Mm.
And these products are these ETFs I'm referring to, they are really a way for these investment advisors and managers to collect fees off people buying these products. So personally, if you want to hear from me, I think it would just be better to purchase spot Bitcoin or spot Ethereum instead of these ETF products. But that's just personally my opinion. Everyone could choose however way they want to go about it. But that's why I'm saying that just to point out, I don't think that's going to be the thing that pops everything off next year as most people are expecting. I think it's going to be a lot of things in the market that people aren't really expecting, like real world assets, like GambleFi and GameFi and a few other narratives that are coming up right now. So we'll see how everything goes, but I'm expecting it to be a pretty turbulent year when it comes to the macro market. So we'll see how much more resilient the crypto markets could end up being, and they could very well be very much resilient and keep pushing forward. So yeah, when it comes to prices, I don't really like to give price predictions on anything,
Mhm.
but I do expect Bitcoin to reach the $100,000 mark in this bull cycle. I do expect XRP to not be as suppressed as it was during the last bull cycle. We really saw the SEC really come down hard on them. But now we have that legal clarity that they're not a security. So I think that and with the case more or less coming towards a conclusion, I do think that's going to be very beneficial for a breakout when it comes to XRP. I am expecting, a few dollars to about $10 in the next bull cycle, and probably more. It depends how the ecosystem grows and how Ripple grows even more. So I'm just very excited for the ecosystem to gradually grow with the ecosystem.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I tell you what, you're speaking my language. Your analysis, I really agree. A lot of the things that you said there, I've been mentioning how this has been a BlackRock hype, bull trap rally ever since the fake news article came out on October 14th, I think, when they said that the ETF was approved and it wasn't. It was actually delayed again. But this is what the BlackRock boys do. Speaking of private equity, right? The biggest boys and girls in the world. And so I really think that your analysis is pretty good. I'm actually looking for a correction here, basically a buy the rumor, sell the news event, as you mentioned, and that's going to
Mhm.
be coming up here in January. Beginning of the year, January 10th, is when they're saying Mike Novogratz, who's kind of a SEC insider, he's buddy with Gary Gensler and the gang. He's saying that we're going to get an ETF approved by January 10th or before. But is this just another setup? And like you said, we have speculation that's still going to be present in this space, and we have a lot of utility that is coming, not just to the XRP ledger, but to the entire space. And if we ever do get our act together, we get those regulations too. This is going to be a fantastic run. I think Bitcoin up to 100,000 could easily be done, of course. And then I agree with your analysis as well with XRP not being as suppressed. There's still going to be speculation to drive it. And there's massive utility coming to the XRPL that's going to catch us up with the rest of the space that had NFTs, that had an automated market maker, that has, DeFi. We're getting our DeFi after legal clarity, the only digital asset with legal clarity in the United States. And hopefully we get the regulations too to allow those institutions, like you said, to pour in. And when I look back at what happened to the ETFs for gold and silver, gold did a 5x, 500% over the next decade, and silver did a 10x, 1,000% over that next decade after their ETFs got approved. And I think that the digital asset space could probably do even more. Is
Sure.
that going to be distributed to tens of thousands of meme coins? Maybe a little bit here, but I think that what we're moving towards is real utility driving this space. There's still going to be speculation this run, but cheers to the speculation because that's what's going to take us for the ride. And so yeah, I'm excited to watch your project launch here at the beginning of 2024. It's been a pleasure to meet you guys, and I appreciate you guys making your first interview appearance here on my show. Really do appreciate that. And I'm going to link up down below your guys' website and your Twitter. Is there anywhere else that folks should follow you through this journey?
That's basically it. It's through our Twitter, through our account, and through our website. Sign up for put your email on our website so you're contacted when we launch and on other updates. And we're really excited to launch our product and to really give retail investors an opportunity to be invested in private markets. So we're really excited.
Yeah. And I just want to reiterate the point, guys. None of this is intended to be financial advice. These are just a couple friends now that we have in the XRP Ledger community, and they're looking to bring some opportunity to folks, and I appreciate that. And so, them on my show is not a specific endorsement of what they're offering, but please do your own due diligence and research and get to know these guys. And it's going to be interesting to watch as we enter this next bull run. There's a massive opportunity for all of us who want to bring value to the ecosystem. So thanks again for coming on here today. Everyone watching the show here, please make sure that you like this video, share it out far and wide, and everything else can be found at my website, zachrector.com. Thank you for stopping by.
Thanks. Thank you,
Thanks,
Mike.
Zach.
We appreciate it.